Welcome, sports fans. I'm Tom Prizeman, and this is Prizeman's Perspective. On today's show, we'll be talking about the return of old faces to the Bronx, a new offense, a new hope for Pleasantville football, a Houdini on the hill, and finally, why one of the most hated men in sports is actually a true American hero. So, let's get started. He's back. The Yankees, looking for a way to bolster their anemic, injury-riddled lineup, turned to a familiar face for a power surge. The Yankees acquired former Cubs outfielder Alfonso Soriano for pitching prospect Corey Black. The trade to acquire the former Bronx Bomber, who last played with the Yanks in 2003, was made despite the protests of GM Brian Cashman. Let's see how his new club would fare as the Royals paid a visit to the Bronx. First inning, Jeter back in action from Scranton. Wilkes-Barre gets called up, and what does he do in his first at-bat? Of course, it's a base hit for the captain. What else would you expect? Later on in the game, now it's bottom of the fifth. His second at-bat of this game. He's got a good chance to drive in a run, but can't quite do it. Great play by Johnny G. Votella, and he comes up lame, does Derek Jeter. More on that story later. Now here's Lyle Overbay. 3 batters later, he dunks that one into right field. Come on, Ichiro. Come on, Robinson Cano. Yankees take a 5-4 lead through 5. Now we're here, top of the 6th. Alex Gordon thinks he's got a home run. Ichiro Suzuki, showing off his wide receiver skills, makes the beautiful over-the-shoulder catch. Take another look at that one, folks. Maybe the Jets should think about picking up him. He could be the number 2 wide receiver. The beautiful basket catch. And the Yankees hold on to win 8-4 over the Kansas City Royals. Last season, the Pleasantville Panther football team surprised pundits by reaching the sectional championship game, in which they lost a heartbreaker 14-9 to top-seeded Lords. This year, the Panthers look to reload for another title run. While Pleasantville did lose its entire offensive and defensive starting lines, the team returns many skilled position players, led by fleet-footed quarterback Anthony Godino, who helped implement a new read option offense during the offseason that will be sure to electrify Section 1. If you were to look up electrifying in the dictionary, you would see a picture of Matt Harvey, who took the mound versus the Dodgers. Harvey here in the top of the 5th, making it look like my old video game backyard baseball. Freeze ball right there. That's his 7th strikeout through 5 frames. Here he gets into some trouble, though. Matt Kemp skies one to right. Marlon Byrd has a beat on it, but he runs out of real estate. That one leaves the ballpark as Kemp harpers it around the bases, 3-1 lead. Now here in the bottom of the 9th, it's not over. The captain, David Wright, dunks one into right field. That ties his ball game up at 3. And now here in the bottom of the 10th, could it be? Could it be? Yes, it can. Hasta la vista, el baseball. That's a grand slam right there for Jordani Valdespin. His first home run of the season. Can you believe it, folks? His first a walk-off grand slam. What are the odds of that? As he rounds third, the Mets can party like it's 1986 all over again. The final score, 7-3, as Harvey didn't factor in the decision. Now let's go take a look around the rest of the scoreboard. In the senior circuit, Nationals 3-1 over the Phillies. Harper had a 2-run home run. Now moving on to St. Louis, Cardinals 4-2 over the Braves. Now let's go to the junior circuit. 6-2 Boston Red Sox over the Orioles. David Ortiz, 4 RBIs and 2 home runs. And finally, down at Tropicana Field, Jose Bautista, the 3-run home run that ended up being the decision maker, 4-2 the final. Let's move from batted balls to batted pucks. After a very disappointing regular season, it's been a turbulent offseason for the Devils. Let's send it to our residential hockey expert, Logan Grossman.
This is Logan Grossman reporting live from Yogi Berra Stadium with an update on the New Jersey Devils. They've had an eventful offseason so far, losing Ilya Kovalchuk to retirement and David Clarkson to free agency to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Devils look to replace their scoring touch with free agents Michael Ryder, Ryan Clough, and Jaromir Jagr. Well, we'll just have to wait and see as the Devils look to make the playoffs after missing last year. Thanks, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks so much, Logan. And finally, I'm going to be talking about one of the most hated men in America. He grew up with his teenage mother, never knowing his father. He lived in the housing projects of one of the roughest neighborhoods in America. And like most of the other hated men, he made a single defining mistake, one that would draw the ires of millions and tarnish his reputation. His mistake, though, wasn't armed robbery, murder, or treason like many NFL players. No, his fatal blunder was his announcement at a Boys and Girls Club of where he'd be playing basketball. Yes, I am talking about LeBron James. For a guy who basically grew up with nothing to overcome his rough beginnings and be able to support his wife, who he began dating in 8th grade, is an accomplishment. For a guy with his background to rise above the violence and poverty to become the best basketball player on earth, that is the American dream. So next time you go to hate on LeBron, remember what his mistake was. Not a felony, simply a TV show. And that's all for this TV show. For Logan Grossman and everyone who made this production possible, I'm Tom Prizeman. Thank you so much for making this a part of your evening. Good night, everybody.